To our trend tracker, the top stories that are trending this morning. Perry campaigning in Iowa, trying to get his campaign back on track right up there. Those protesters, anti-war protesters really, who almost did close down the Smithsonian for a period of time. Both stories getting some traction. Mark Halpern, quickly. The other issue here is the issue of Mormonism in the race with Mitt Romney. Rick Perry had a pastor introducing him, Pastor Jeffress, who talked about the need for a real Christian in the race. And he talked about Mormonism being a cult in the view of evangelical Christians. Is this issue finally coming up in the race?
Big issue in 2008. The Romney campaign knows he's going to take hits on a range of issues, including this one. He's never been comfortable talking about his faith. Clearly less of an issue than last time, but I don't think he can get the nomination without a confrontation on this issue.
And do you think that Perry needs to do something to step up to say, look, I got to create some distance here?
Well, he created a little distance, but not enough. He's not talked to reporters yet about his view on that. Clearly, there are going to be allies of Rick Perry who raise this. The question for Rick Perry is accountability. The question for Mitt Romney is how he handles it.
We're looking at the primary calendar, when the voting actually starts, and all the shouting stops and the voting. But it's so unsettled. We think, talking to folks, that we could see the Iowa caucuses on January 3rd, but we know that Florida's moved up to January 31st, South Carolina the 21st, Nevada now on the 14th. When is New Hampshire?
I think they'll have to go in January. If they go back to December, force Iowa into December, they risk undermining what they want, which is their big influence in the process. I think the Secretary of State there, who has unilateral authority here, will find a date in early January that will work out. It's still not ideal, right up against New Year's, but better than voting in this calendar year.
Why do you think it's tough for Republicans right now to arrive at a consensus choice? If you look at this top tier, Romney, Kane, Perry, what's going on?
Well, I think Republicans are fleshing out who the strongest candidate will be to win. I don't think competition is a bad thing. I'm reminded of the Democratic primary last time when Obama and Hillary Clinton went back and forth. I think at the end of the day that was a good thing for Democrats.
Who's toughest to beat Obama in your judgment?
You know, I haven't chosen a candidate yet. I like the idea of them competing and seeing, but I think when you have over half of the country saying they're looking at somebody new, the longer that conversation takes place among our candidates, the more people that are going to get engaged. And I think at the end of the day, what's important, David, is our party get behind whomever that candidate finally is.
The President of the United States is getting ready, and I have a lot of faith, and I'm happy to come back here. I hope you can come back here after the election when he's reelected President of the United States, because I think people are going to see his complete record.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Thanks to all of you very much. Also want to thank the terrific folks here at the Museum of Contemporary Arts for hosting us in Chicago this morning. A programming note before we go: this Friday afternoon, we're going to be doing a special live edition of our Press Pass conversation with our partners at Facebook as a lead up to our Republican presidential debate in New Hampshire. That's the weekend before their primary, whenever they figure out exactly when that will be. We will talk about all the presidential debates, the strategies and the highlights, with a special panel, including the moderator of so many of those historical debates, Jim Lair. And participate. Let me underline that. You can participate in the conversation on our Meet the Press Facebook page, facebook.com/meetthepress. That is all for today. We'll be back in Washington next week. We're going to have an exclusive 2012 debate between Romney supporter and former candidate himself, Tim Pawlenty, and Perry supporter, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.